What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I went to go see Bullet Train today, and I don't know. So just kind of, analyzing everything I saw in the movie today. It wasn't a bad movie. It was actually pretty well written, in my opinion. I know that I've seen Brad Pitt in movies that have this feel, and typically, from what I understand, they've been really big hits. So I think this is going to be one of those really big movies that is going to make a lot of money. But there was certain... I feel like the movie, first of all, the movie shouldn't have been as long as it was. I think the movie was probably 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. I feel like the movie was longer than it should have been. I feel like there were certain parts of the movie where they kind of prolonged it a little too long. But it did have its funny moments, although there were a lot of times where there were, words being exchanged and things being said that you should have laughed, but you didn't. And then there were other parts where I kind of snickered. There was a couple of, I don't know if you would call them cameos, because I didn't even know they were going to be in this movie, so maybe they were cameos. Let's see, this movie came out a couple of days ago, so a lot of people have already seen it. So as you guys know, Shannon Tatum was there, made a little cameo. Ryan Reynolds was in it, but there was nothing else. We kind of think it was a little joke. Now I will say that the actors that played Lemon and Tangerine, which I thought was actually hilarious, but they were supposedly twin brothers. There was a part in the movie where they were kind of reminiscing and talking about how many casualties they had, and just kind of going back and forth with each other about that. I feel like that part was just too long. Like, it was kind of dragged out, in my opinion. But overall, Brad Pitt did his thing. He, played the part really well. He played this, I don't know if he's not a hitman, but, he gets sent to do different jobs and things like that, and he gets caught up with all this craziness. And as the movie goes along, from the middle to the end, you start to understand how everything and everyone connects. And for me, it got pretty darn interesting when there was this huge fight scene at the end on the train, and that to me was like, oh shoot, that was pretty cool. To me, that was probably the coolest part of the movie. Let's see. I feel like a lot of the killings in this movie was gory, but in a silly way. I feel like it was not, it was a bit much. It was almost like they were kind of reaching with the goriness. I felt like when you saw these fight scenes, and when you saw the hits and the shots, and all the stuff that we saw in this, you can feel the impact. You can feel the intensity of the fights. But for me, it's when you saw them bleed out and stuff, it was just really, it was just okay. There was a couple of times where I was just like, oh shoot, that was crazy. But it's at one point, one of the guys just bled out, but it was one of those silly bleed outs. It was spraying all over the place, and it was just that's a little much for it to be just a gunshot. It was one of those things. But I feel like this is one of those crazy long movies where you know, you had a little bit of everything in there, but it was all right. Like, it wasn't a super crazy action-packed movie to where you were just like, oh my God, I gotta go see that again. I don't have to see this again. But it's one of those where I think it's going to be a really big hit. Like, it's going to make a lot of money. There's a couple of, like I said, like when I see Brad Pitt in certain movies, I kind of had a familiar feel in this one with other movies that he's been in. It's just one of those, you know, he's trying to find peace, but he's getting caught up with all this stuff and all this craziness, and you know, he doesn't want to deal with guns, but it's just crazy. It wasn't a horrible movie. It wasn't a bad movie. To me, it was all right. It was all right. Like, I really tried hard to kind of enjoy it as much as I could, but I wasn't as engaged as I feel like I should have been. But I kind of wish that the little cameos, I kind of wish that the guys who made the cameos in this movie had a little bit of a longer part. I think would have kind of brought in a little bit, but I do like the relationship between the twin brothers, Tangerine and Lemon. The girl, later on we find out why the girl wants to do what she wants to do. I don't want to give it away too much if you guys didn't see it. But I was just like, wow, I did not see that coming. So, you know, it starts off with, you know, a little bit of a sad scene where it's just like, yo, like, who would do something like that? But then later on, things start to kind of unfold, and you start to kind of understand, like, whoa, well, why would they do this, and why would they do that, and who sent this person, and who sent that person, and, you know, all these people are kind of on this train doing their own thing, not knowing that they're kind of there for the same purpose. If you guys haven't seen it, you might want to go watch it. You may very well enjoy it much more than I did. I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy it. It was cool to watch, but I don't have to see it again. And typically, I like Brad Pitt. I really do, and I love the movies that he's in. This one, I feel like it was just too long. There was certain things in there that I feel like could have just been cut up a little bit. It was just longer than it should have been, in my opinion. But overall, I give this movie, I don't ever do this, but it's like 2 3/4. I don't want to give it a 3 because a 3 is kind of more than what I feel right now. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a 3. Whatever. 3 toodles for Bullet Train. But leave your comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed my review. If you did go see it, let me know what you guys liked about it, what you didn't like. You know, and I gotta say, like, the fight scene with I keep forgetting his name, but he was Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. He did his thing when he was doing some fight scenes in this movie, that's for sure. And it got a little crazy at the end. Like, towards the end, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what is happening here? So to me, that was like my favorite part of the movie, was when, you know, things started going real bad and it was fight scenes and, you know, people fighting, and then the main bad guy came out, and, you know. But that's just me, you guys. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you enjoyed about this movie. Do you think it's going to be like a really big hit, like up there? Or do you think it was an alright movie? Let me know. If you haven't done so, subscribe to my channel, hit like, share, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you guys can get notified whenever I pop up on your feed. I'll see you guys later.